Okay. I've prepared that version 2 of the chapter 1. It is done. I'll send you in a short while. I was actually in a meeting since morning. So just the mailing part is remaining. I have to just send it to you. So that I have completed. Right. And yeah, synopsis, I sent it to you. No?
Yeah, a synopsis is done, but to
Yeah.
action followed by the synopsis, what kind of who
Yeah.
who are the
Okay.
publishers?
So yeah. So for publishers, I have the few publishers I know that I'll send the mail today, and remaining like we discussed about this Ahmedabad Mirror and newspaper thing. Yeah, I've got their mail ID. So on where the editors where you can send the details. So that I'm going to send, and I'm trying to find out because the publishers whom I contacted for my clients, they are actually the ones who are charging money for publishing.
I see.
And right, because those are not very famous people whom the biographies we have done, because they are not very you can say very celebrity kind of people. Your case is different. So I'm trying to collect the mail IDs of the people, the publishing houses who are actually looking for good, books and creative content, and who are actually interested in more of selling of books and readership, right?
Right.
So that, and agricultural colleges, I'm collecting data also for that, so that we can also have a something like so books can be placed in their library also once they get printed. So that part I'm also doing.
So Ahmedabad has a design school. For the cover
Yeah.
page, I'll show you something that I prepared
Okay.
as a cover page.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but these both the pictures are not the best ones.
Yeah. So this is the actual quinoa plant.
Yeah, that's the quinoa crop in
Okay.
Araku Valley where we started growing.
Okay. Okay. That's great.
And the mountain represents a geographical feature to show that it's India.
Right.
Because growing quinoa is possible, but where is the question? This is in contrast with the Bolivia.
Right.
Actually, that picture what on the top was taken when I was in Bolivia.
Oh.
But that may not be the most
Final
practical one.
Right.
Maybe I will take with the hat. I have the same hat.
Still you have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the same hat, if I can take one
Right.
with high, for printing also it should be good, right?
Right.
They may
right.
not agree for this kind of quality.
Yeah. This you have done yourself.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. You yourself are a great designer.
There's no, I mean, all you need is number one, the title should be there. The title is there.
Yeah.
Tagline should be
Right.
there. It is there. And you need to have quinoa. And you need to have my picture. Because I said my journey.
It's like looking like you are sitting behind the mountain and looking at quinoa. It's looking like that.
So now some good artist or good designer has to
Yeah.
merge that properly with colors
Right.
It should flow
Right.
like a single unit rather than patchwork.
Mm-hmm.
So how they can do is based on with the tools.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that you have a design school there.
I have in Ahmedabad, the NID is there, but
Do they do book design?
Pardon?
Do they do book design?
But I
Cover-
think NID, no, I'm not sure, because NID, as far as I know, they are more into fashion designing and all that kind of things. And as far as graphic, yeah, they must be doing that. But I don't have any kind of
That's okay. I'll find
contact.
somebody to make this into a proper book cover with all the technical details. And if need be, there should be a border. All those things I will find out and get back to you.
Right.
For now, that is the current working title, or like a working cover page. And back page synopsis is already done anyway.
Yeah.
But we have to fit that into maybe 150 words or so. Or
right.
For now, I'll keep only 150 words, meaning half of what we have presented, to see how it looks on a cover page back.
Right.
I'll do that.
Right.
That's not a problem. Editing is simple. I can cut down the certain.
Like once this is sent to the publishers, what they do is, you must be knowing, like they send you the for proofreading and all.
Yeah,
So when
proof.
they prepare the back cover, that point of time, I think it would be better to do the editing, because you'll get a fair idea that how much place it is covering and how much space is left and all that. So I think before that also we can do. That's not a problem. On the
Okay,
back
then
cover,
the next thing,
also
the next thing.
something.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, please continue.
No, there is a Amazon print on demand system is there. So please find out how does it work. Print on demand. Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon print on demand.
Okay.
That may be easier way to have the things printed.
Okay.
And if it works well, just check the details, because other publishings, how much it costed, how it worked, and all that. At least
right.
Amazon print on demand is a easy way for us to do.
Okay. I'll find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stop this. So if you want to do the questions, let's go to the questions.
Let's start.
Yeah. You sent a mail, points for the discussion just now?
Yeah, I've seen. I have that.
No, you said you got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you read the Endo chapter, Akira Endo chapter? Hello?
I read it. Yeah, I read it.
Yeah. So what do you think is the essence of the Akira Endo chapter? Because the whole thing depends on how the discussion today is how to link the Akira Endo chapter to the points I asked. I said, gave you 10 points. All these 10 I met. I have the names of the people. And I know what happened, in which direction it went, all that. So for each of these points, if we take 200 words of writing, that will be 2000 words. And we may use some in this chapter, and we may need not use. We may use some of the parts in another chapter. That is the idea.
I think this point is the what I feel is number 10, like presented to big people, no chance. And like explained, number 9, explained to many doctors in vain. And I think these are the points which are more relevant to what Akira Endo. I know sometimes confuse how to spell that. Akira Endo, right?
Yeah.
So what I feel is your journey, like you have done almost the same kind of efforts. Like he also did so much of great work, so much of effort, and trying to get across to people his point. He was not that much recognized for his efforts, and I think these are the points which um, you know correlate to your story to his story.
So how do we do this exercise? Because we have not done this question discussion until now.
I think as far as you are concerned, I think most I have not heard all the things, but I think almost all the points are relevant. But these are something which are what you call similar kind of experiences. So the chapter first, of course, these details will be there so that people come to know who he is, and then we start something with like you know um, what you did, and then we start the story.
Okay.
Like meeting agriculture university vice chancellor,
Yeah, we go.
and right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first point. Meeting Agriculture University Vice Chancellor Padmarazu. He is a
Okay.
scientist, he's a professor, and he himself is an agriculturist. And he happened to be the Vice Chancellor of the Telangana Andhra Pradesh Combined Agricultural University. At that time, there was no division of the states. So, and I made a call to him, not through anybody, but directly. And I went and met him to find out what he can help with. The specific agenda that I went to meet with him is to see that one of the scientists from his university has published a paper. It's a paper related to rice, but this is not a scientific paper. This is a IT paper, where they said that in that paper, if you give the parameters of what is needed for any growth of any crop, it will tell in the entire country where it can be grown profitably, optimally. That's the kind of paper that they have prepared. That is the point number 7. We'll come to the details later. But his scientist is working in his field. Therefore, I wanted to go and meet Padmarazu to get to know these scientists and the people. And the agriculture university itself has hundreds of acres to do the experimentation. And when they do the experimentation, of course, they will do much more systematically than a lay person like me. My intent is not to grow with my own hands or with my own people. My intent is to see that it is grown properly so that other farmers can imitate and expand rapidly. That is the job that they do. So one day morning I went there, and I showed the quinoa to him. Surprisingly, he said that I know this and I eat this regularly because my children from US send it to me. Then I asked him, did you try to plant this here? No, we never thought about it.
Did they
By
give
then,
any reason for that?
no reason, certainly.
Okay.
And then I told him that this is a nutritious one, because those people who are in agriculture will not care about the nutrition part. Their main goal is, number one, whether it grows or not. Number two, whether it will fetch more money to the farmer or not, if they are genuine people. Otherwise, most people, they don't care, because I'm doing my job kind of attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to take a new project.
Mm-hmm.
So he did not want to do it himself, but he did not think of the fact that it can be grown in India. But when I discussed with him and I said that I have planted, yes, for one season, and we got the grain. So now I want to go for expansion and see where all in India it should be grown properly. For which one of the scientists in the point number 7, he prepared the software. And can I access that?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I don't know about the software. I do not know the person, but he sent me to one Dr. Raja Reddy, same name almost like the person who developed the software, but he is the director for extension in the university. Agriculture extension is the division where the crops and other things are discussed at the field level with the farmers. The extension director will have a large number of staff placed in many parts of the state, and they have the access to all the weather information, pest information, all those kind of things. I went and met him, and he just, of course, polite, and everybody gives tea in India, but he doesn't want to encourage me. And I understood the reason. Probably by then there is someone whom he knows already is trying to grow in India. And that was not that successful according to him. Therefore, he said that, don't worry, don't do these kind of things here. This is a foreign crop. Everybody has the same line of thought. A foreign crop cannot grow in India. And Padmaraju, I later called, but there is no further progress, because even though Padmaraju is the vice chancellor, the politics in the system are so complex that even he's the top man, boss, others need not do if it is something new, innovative. That is the crux of the thing, where in India, many things do not progress.
Right.
Even if the boss or the director or the top person is interested, it is very hard for them to implement unless he has the support of the subordinates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Most of the times the subordinates behave as if they are independent, because they are also aspiring to be the vice chancellor or to be the boss, and maybe they did not get it. That's the reason why they try to block, because in the government job, they don't have any problem. They will not be suspended just like that, even if they don't do their job properly.
Right.
That's how I met a roadblock with Padmaraju, the vice chancellor. That's the point number 1.
Okay.
While we are discussing, there is no particular order in these 10 points, but I listed as it came. So each paragraph will end, and then we will place the paragraph wherever it fits well in the chapter, either this chapter or another chapter. Agriculture is a very serious topic for any state or India altogether. This meeting happened after the state of Telangana was separated from Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
Where Andhra Pradesh happens to be the rice bowl originally for the country. But the reality is that in the combined state, the districts that went to Andhra are the real rice bowl districts, and the districts that remained in Telangana are not that great, not all of them, and only very few are very important districts for rice, and the rest are not good for rice at all. Therefore, the title of Rice Bowl of India cannot be used, claimed, mentioned by the politicians. So the politicians have come up with a new line of idea. Even if we cannot grow food, rice, let us be the seed bowl of India. These are very simple, shallow thinking because they just want to have that bowl thing because they just got separated from Andhra Pradesh. They want to have a fight because of it, a big fight. So they too want to have a name. So seed is simple. You don't have to grow, and certainly certain lands in the state will be growing any seed, or seeds that are growing in the state can be claimed to be seed bowls. So after seeing that in the press, I approached through some known people, because meeting a politician is not that easy. So the people whom I know, they said that we'll arrange a meeting with the minister. Please explain the whole thing. So we met the then agriculture minister for Telangana state. And obviously the meeting is very chaotic. There are so many other non-scientists or non-agriculture related people are in the room. They're all politicians. Probably out of courtesy, he gave a few minutes to discuss this topic. And while talking about it, he has no grasp of it. And my point was, this will be a new seed, and no one has made it into a seed for the country. And now you have a chance. You grow it, and this particular variety or this particular crop is very well suited for rain-fed, non-fertile, dry lands with low temperatures. All these factors are required for quinoa for a better growth than other locations, because quinoa cannot grow well when there are too many rains. And if the rains are too many, then the plant itself will not survive, because its root system is very shallow and is very weak. Therefore, it should be in fairly dry lands. Then only it will do well. So the minister heard, and he actually asked us to meet the other officer. He didn't even pay much attention of how to make the seed bowl, because that is their slogan. The reason could be very simple. This seed bowl idea did not come from agriculture department. The seed bowl idea must have come from the chief minister's office. Some staff member must have mentioned. Maybe because they did not get that idea first, or whatever their politics behind. even though they all belong to the same political party, it didn't move forward.
Mm.
And he asked us to go and meet another sort of an IAS officer. And he is the least interested IAS officer in the department. I mean, he is least interested in that aspect of the department. And he talked about something else, and we left.
Okay.
So my point there is, even though we have gone to the highest political system level, it is not the value of the seat. It is not the value of the seat for the state or the country. It is not the value of the crop for the people, farmers.
Mm.
None of those have surfaced in the discussion.
Okay. They were not bothered at all.
If they are interested, I take, and this is an assumption, they would have asked, okay, fine, you got a good one. Show me. We have rice, bajra, corn, other things. How is this going to benefit the farmer? And what is the nutritive values for the people? Show me
Right.
those things.
Mm.
Then we'll experiment. We'll take a simple field level experiment first to test whether quinoa is good for health or not. We'll buy it from somewhere else, whether imported, it doesn't matter. We'll import 10 tons of quinoa and feed it to school children.
Right.
And compare them with children who did not eat it. If there is a value, yes, we will think about how to grow it. No such discussion happened.
Oh, that means they were least bothered about what you were trying to tell them.
Yeah, so this is the same situation for 1,000 other projects in India.
But the story is almost same everywhere. Like, they are not concerned about the welfare of people. They are not concerned about welfare of farmers. Not only in agriculture, every department. They are just bothered about like what will they're going to be their benefit. If you tell them this is going to be your benefit, they will be all ears to what you are trying to tell them. You just have to tell them the figure. So then they will listen to you.
That is the first one is an academician, Vice Chancellor of Agricultural University is an academician. Second one is a politician. And the third one is a religious person, Ramdev Baba.
Oh. Okay, you met him also. Wow.
No, I did not meet him personally. But what happened was, after seeing my article in 2014, one of the phone calls, I got hundreds of phone calls. One of the phone calls and emails is from someone in Rajasthan, Jaipur. That person was very keen that I meet him or he come and meet me. Then I said that when I'm in India, I surely will let you know. When I'm in Hyderabad, you can come and meet me. But then they said that we want you to come. By then it's already 3.5 years into the quinoa travels, and I have traveled quite a bit, and including Gujarat. Chief Minister met them, officers, different people. That's what I will come to. In the point 8 is sent letters to CM, AP, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and actually met the CM Anandiben at that time.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
And that was also a dramatic meeting. They said that madam wants to meet you. I said, no, I'm on the way to the airport. It doesn't matter. You will not miss your flight. We'll make sure that you will not miss your flight. Please come straight and then you can go from here. And then my friends were surprised how it is possible. They assured my friends in Gujarati. Probably they said that it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to go through many of these waiting lines. There's plenty of time. Something like that. And finally we went to Anandi Ben's office. We met. She introduced an IAS officer, and she said that we'll certainly work on this. And again, IAS officer and myself, we communicated for at least 3-4 months. They have attached a bright, young, brilliant intern, and they told him that you should talk to Dr. Rao and get it done. But as time passes, the communication became negligible. And the reason could be, of course, he may be intelligent, the fellow who is communicating with me, but he has his bosses to tell what to do, what not to do. Anyway, coming back to the Ramdev Baba, this person from Gujarat, Rajasthan, Aditya, he said that we want you to come to Jaipur. I said, yes, I will come, but not this visit, another visit. He said, no, it's only one flight. And they arranged the ticket, they arranged the stay. I went there, I stayed overnight. And the next day morning, we went to his office and met his father. And the father is, of course, that's the big difference between business and non-business. Father said very clearly that we have made all our money, very fairly rich people in Rajasthan. I mean, in Jaipur, Rajasthan. He said that we made all my money in my career by working with the government of India for railway tracks. They were doing something for the railway tracks, big contractors. And in particular, he mentioned that he made a lot of his money in Andhra Pradesh, Orissa. But he saw that the railways are done, their level of kind of work is done. Railways are pretty much there everywhere, and there may not be new future projects in the railways meeting their kind of background and abilities. So he wanted his son, also very brilliant. I mean, the family made a lot of money. Everybody thinks that rich people are dumb, and it's not like that. They are really sharp, very, very intelligent. So he wanted his son to be, only one son, to be in agriculture, food business. And that's the reason why they want to take up quinoa. So they took me to their house and they gave me a very lavish dinner that probably I never had such a lavish dinner. And also the honor. In a Gujarati, Rajasthani culture, I don't know whether you know it or not, or any culture for that matter.
Dal
the
bati.
honor, huh?
Dal bati.
Yeah, many. I think I took so many different items. I did not have the idea that I'll be writing a book. Otherwise, I'll call them now and ask them the meal. That's one of the best things that happened in the entire Kanava journey.
Right.
And the meal is served in a very different fashion. Meaning, I sat with the father. Son also did not sit with me. And his mother stood by us. And the servant maids or whoever, they were bringing food one after another. And she stood almost all the time and made sure that we ate.
Marwadi.
Yeah. So it was a very different experience. Even at home, nobody does it. And maybe rarely that is done during the wedding for the new groom who is coming into the family or something like that. It is such a, but that, for them, it is a general honor.
Right.
And actually, it is said that, of course, in the scriptures and Ramayana, it is said that when you have to invite a guest, there are levels of inviting a guest. And the highest level is to invite the guest with your wife next to you. That's the highest. So he said that this is a great point that you are mentioning. He understood all the business aspects and the nutrition aspects. And he actually was, I think, a minister also in Rajasthan government later or during that time. And the only, in our discussions, one thing that impressed me about him is that he became some important person in the Rajasthan government at that time, and he is the first one to destroy the temples on the streets.
Oh.
He's a Hindu. Shiva Shakti is his company's name.
Oh, okay.
He has all the bindi and everything. He does puja and everything.
Okay.
But he said that someone who is illegally constructing a temple, obstructing the traffic on a road, is wrong.
Oh.
So he destroyed them with his whatever machinery or system, government system. But obviously, he made a deal with them, saying that whatever land that is, whatever the area that is required for them elsewhere in an appropriate place was given by the government. That kind of a person, that impressed me quite a bit when I met him. Nothing else, because in a short meeting of 1 or 2 hours, he cannot tell his life story, and I cannot understand the whole thing and its ramifications to assess the nature of a person. It takes a long time probably, but this one aspect, though he is a Hindu and this is what is a public good, even if the public good is, even if that is obstructed by the temple, let the temple be removed. That's a great kind of thing.
Right.
So they suggested subsequently that Ramdev Baba is coming to our house for dinner, lunch. So at that time, so Ramdev Baba went to their house for lunch. So at that time, if we give him quinoa, and we will tell him that, because by then Ramdev Baba is a big brand. And our idea at that time was to make it so big that Ramdev Baba, like people sell quinoa. For selling at the 10,000, he has 40,000 stores, I think, 10,000, 40,000 stores across the country in the network. So what else we need other than that? And my job would be done within one season, or with one connection, everything will be done. So I actually arranged quinoa from US to the people in Rajasthan, in this family, and Ramdev Baba came. They cooked quinoa, they gave him. He said that, no, I don't like it.
He said that?
That's what these people told me, because I did not speak to him.
Achha.
So when they canceled, when he said that he doesn't like, therefore it is not relevant.
Okay.
We dropped that idea.
Oh.
At that time, the idea was dropped, but later, after several months or a year, I think, he wanted to develop. By then, my 2014, this happened 14-15 time, and by 16 March, we started our brand, Dr. Quinoa. So in 2015, I called this family and said that I'm starting this Dr. Quinoa brand, and let's start selling in various places in India. But then the son came with an idea, no, I'll have mother grains brand, and I will not sell on Dr. Quinoa brand.
Okay, he wanted his brand.
His own brand.
Okay.
So this is the kind of line of thought with many people who came to me and got the details and interested, excited. They were all very sincere in the beginning, but eventually they figured out that why should we have another brand with him, or why should we have a business relation with him? All those reasons, all those kind of things, their reasons may be different. Why do he's from US, he's a scientist, he doesn't know business. All those things could be reasons. But all of them have started their different brands. And later, Ramdev Baba also started selling quinoa.
So he purchased from you or someone else?
No, there are by then there are so many farmers whom we have been talking to, writing, and many people came to know. This is how
Oh.
the whole thing developed.
Oh,
So he was doing that.
okay.
And then I see that now that Ramdev Baba stores are selling, whether Ramdev Baba did not like at that time or not is not known to me as the first hand information.
Right.
Therefore, I said that, okay, if quinoa is being sold through the stores, there is another possibility with Ramdev Baba because he is in Haridwar. Now that they are selling, whether he likes personally or not, they are interested in quinoa. So I sent a proposal saying that let us have quinoa grown in various parts of high altitude regions, Himalayan belt,
Hmm.
from Nainital to all the way up to Ladakh.
Hmm. Hmm.
By then I have data. We have done the experiment in Ladakh at the Defense Agriculture Wing. Dr. Sanjay Dwivedi has taken seed from me
Hmm.
and planted there and showed that it goes 6 times better in Ladakh region in their experimental plots compared to anything else.
Right.
Therefore, this is a
Right.
crop that is good for Himalayan belt. And single-handedly, I will not be able to run it across the Himalayan belt, but Sanjay Dwivedi can. I mean, Ramdev Baba can. So we made an appointment through a common friend, Anju Malik. She is from Dehradun, and she contacted them. Anju Malik is fairly well known. They have a lot of connections because her daughters, Nunshi and Tashi, climbed all the mountains in the world, including Everest.
Okay.
So Anju called the Ramdev Baba group. There is one person by name Balakrishna and set
Yeah.
up an
Yeah.
appointment. And she said that you should come to our Dehradun. I went to Dehradun, but a day before our meeting, the meeting is cancelled by them.
I'm getting shocked after shocked now.
The reasons could be many, but one of the guesses that I have, solid one that I can think of, is this. I traveled all the way to Dehradun, but before I was starting, I asked Anju, did you inform what's the plan and who are in the meeting? I was asking. Then she said, yeah, I should talk to him. And she called and said that Dr. Srinivas Rao will be in the meeting.
Will be in the meeting.
In the meeting.
Huh.
Because they also want to know who will be in the meeting.
Right.
Anju might have mentioned over the phone a few times, but they must have forgotten. But when the meeting is tomorrow, next day, they wanted to know once again. And then Anju said that Srinivas Rao will be here. And the meeting was cancelled.
Oh. Okay.
The next one is the director of CCMB. That is not, there is no B there, but
Hmm.
it is CCMB, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology.
Hmm.
The director is a roommate of mine when we were doing PhD. Because in 1981, I joined CCMB as a student. At that time, he was also a student. He was a senior student of mine. Both of us stayed in the same house because I said at that time, every
What?
student, huh?
Okay.
Tell me why?
No, no, no. I'm just thinking like about your, education life. I was just thinking, like, you look to be a very serious kind of a person, but actually you are, what you call, just a thought crossed my mind.
Yeah, but you have to articulate that point because, whether it is going to be an interesting thing, because the way that you are listening to me,
Hmm.
is great for me, right? But even if eventually somebody listens to this, most likely this will be an audiobook too. Because these days I'm not reading books. Audible is a app on which I have heard so many books by now in English. In Telugu also, I'm listening to many books of Telugu literature. So this 1981, when I joined as a student, it was CCMB, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, with the outskirts of Hyderabad. So even to get tea after 5 o'clock, one has to walk at least 15-20 minutes. And food, forget about tea, food is even non-existent. Meaning we cannot, unless you really take an auto, bus or something, you will not get good food. Very low quality food is available. Very low quality food was available within the nearby restaurants. Not restaurant, plural is wrong, restaurant. So all the students working at the CCMB, it is a very small thing at that time. We were only 20 people, and 8 of them are 9 of them are students, and the others are scientists. And scientists have their quarters, but students didn't have any hostel. This is part of the big institution called Regional Research Laboratory, started by Nehru. Very big. But the food available there in their canteen at the lunchtime is so bad that we prefer not to eat there. But we were forced to. Dinner, they were not serving dinner. And there is a small hostel for Regional Research Laboratory, which probably Nehru thought of that is sufficient, but never later anybody thought of that there should be another bigger hostel while the student number is growing.
Right.
That is our respect to Nehru, so we never cross Nehru.
Okay.
So when I joined, I was surprised that I have to go rent a room. There's no hostel. Of course, room rent is 150 to 200 rupees in an average, below average room, when our fellowship is only 600 rupees.
Oh.
We may get a room for that much money, but what do we get there except water? And we know that on water, people cannot live longer than 50 days, 60 days. Water alone, I mean. So I said that why not we have a place to rent for all of us together and have a cook, because we are not there to cooking, washing, ironing, cleaning. We are there to do research.
Right.
But with 600, you can't afford, unless you are married and a girl who doesn't do anything but all these 4 items.
I was going to ask, I was damn sure that you must have done some kind of jugaad.
Yes.
The Indian in us will never go away. Even if we are, we become an NRI or we go anywhere.
So the jugaad is this. So I went and told the director that Dr. P.M. Bhargava, who is a very powerful scientist in the entire country. Everybody was afraid of him. He is supposed to be very close to Indira Gandhi.
Acha.
Very close. There's no question about it. Anything about science, she would talk to him and all that. So I told him that with this 600 rupees, running a family is impractical. Even if let us say I can go get married easily because I have a fellowship, 600 rupees, and I'm going to be on the path of PhD, and there will be at least dozens of girls who will be parents who will be giving their girl.
Okay.
But if you have a wife at that stage, even though she may do all these things or she may not do, that's a different matter. But let us assume that she will do all these things. Then wife, why are we asking all these things? Because to save time. But if one has a wife at that time, she would take all the free time. She says that 9 to 5, that's all. Then research will not happen 9 to 5. Research happens at night, and at night you have your wife. So productivity may be there, but it is not in research.
Okay.
So
You must have really.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. So he understood your point, right?
So I explained all these things to him, that we need a hostel, food, all these things. Then he said that ours is a new institute. We just got funds, approval for making a new laboratory, and we got some money for making the laboratory, but not for hostels.
Okay.
Then the way that you explained, it cannot be done because we can't construct a hostel. Then I said, very simple. Take all the 4 students, 3, 4, whatever number of students, whoever is interested in this kind of hostel, just rent a house for them as a hostel. You don't have to build a hostel. Then he said the rules will not permit to give rental houses for students. Then he said, you are the director, why don't you change it?
Okay.
He said that he didn't say that I can't change it. He said tomorrow morning, Professor Nurul Hassan, the Vice President of India, who was also the chairman for the CSIR, Scientific Council of Scientific, Industrial and Scientific Research, is coming. So why don't you explain this to him? I said, sure, I'll explain. So I did not, there was no meeting or anything. He said that you just wait outside my office. When we come out into the corridor, you can walk till he takes his car. It takes 2-3 minutes to walk to the car. At that time, you can explain to him. So it's a narrow corridor. And Professor Nurul Hassan is very fat man. Fortunately, I was very, very thin. I was only 55 pounds. 55, not pounds, 45 kilos at that time.
You were famished actually, not thin. You were actually what you call.
That helped both of us because both of us can walk at the same level.
Okay.
Then I told him all these things, and I said that this is the only way that we can. I don't know what he understood, what he did not understand. He did not ask a single question, and he turned around almost towards the end of the corridor and told my director that do something for them, do it. Some kind of a very simple language. It's not a very complex language or any big sentences. And then I stopped and they both went off. And later they said that, okay, we can do one thing. We'll take a scientist's name and pay the rent in the name of the scientist to the leased or rented house. That's how 3-4 students get together and into a good, not good meaning whatever is available in that area, not a single room. 3-4 rooms house, and we had our cook and everybody. Cleaning, everything is arranged because when all the monies are divided by 4, all the services are divided by 4, it is affordable for us.
So all the students must be grateful to you.
No,
you did something which was.
Some of them may not even talk. I mean, none of them have talking.
They never thanked you also.
Well, they may have thanked in a different way, but so my seniors, that's what the whole thing is. CCMB director, the one who was director at that time was my senior, and he and his friends, there were 4 of them. Of them, 2 are staying outside, day scholars they used to call, but 2 were doing the same thing as we were doing, finding a room here, finding a room there, and the owners will throw them away. Because first problem is they are single boys. And some houses may have a girl, some houses they may have other issues. So they used to get shuttled. So when they saw me doing this, immediately they got an idea, why not we form the same? That is one of the reasons. In fact, it's a mutual benefit. At the same time, in this house where I took under the name of a scientist, it was given to me, given to me under the name of scientist, 3 or 4 boys staying together. There's another problem that came up because of me. A problem is such a complex one, such a serious one, that I cannot stay there because of my action.
Why?
Because suddenly the girl that I wanted to marry decided to come and stay here only.
At the house.
At the house.
Okay. Okay.
So obviously, they said that you have to go out, which is agreeable, which is right. So initially no one has questioned. The director did not have any problem because director knows her very well. Director's wife knows, and everybody in CCMB, they all know her very well, because for anytime when she was in Hyderabad, I introduced her to all these people. Then these 2 seniors of mine, Dr. C.H. Mohan Rao and Parthasarathi Mitra, now they are doctors, but at that time when none of us were doctors, except my wife, who is a doctor.
Okay.
So 3 of us have taken the house, and we stayed for a number of, I think, months, maybe 2 years, I think. So one of them is Dr. C.H. Mohan Rao, was the director of CCMB at that time. He's a family friend, all those, he has maintained the contacts over the years, of course. So he came to know about my quinoa story, and he also knows about the seed bowl of India. So he wrote a letter, a scientific one, saying that it doesn't require, he asked me all the details and I gave him, he wrote a letter. It doesn't require a lot of water, and yet that letter from CCMB, which went from the highest level in the scientific community. And also he happens to be the chairperson or president of Telangana Scientific Forum or Academy of Sciences. Nothing happened. Then I made contacts went to the next point is about NIN. NIN, there is a director by name Shashi Shekaran at that time. None of them are known to me personally or through any contacts or anything, just went and met them. NIN director Shashi Shekaran is very special in India for very important reason of malnutrition. He's the only one among the many, many top scientists who are discussing, talking, writing about malnutrition. So I had a long meeting with him. And he said that, yes, I will support you, but go and talk to my staff. One of the staff members he suggested is Dr. Longwa, T.N. Longwa. We can fix these names in the book later. Spellings and all. So when I went to Longwa is a scientist, is a chemistry-oriented one, not malnutrition. He is the one who is responsible for the nutritive values of Indian foods, latest edition that came to table in 2017. But we were talking about 2015 or 2000, a late 14 and 15 time. So Longwa was very happy, and first of all, he was excited. He's one of the very few who is genuinely excited about quinoa. He said, I never saw one. Frankly, he said. I said, no problem, I'll arrange one. I arranged him. He ate quinoa. He said, yeah, it's okay. Because he's from Nagaland. For him, rice or wheat are not the main things only. Though he's well versed with the entire Indian food, he traveled and he lived all his life in Hyderabad, I think, as a deputy director. He's still the active member of the system, though not the director.
Mhm.
So his first intent was very simple. Look, I want to include this in the nutritive tables of Indian foods. And the system is so silly that no one has said that this is an Indian food item, but he included that in the nutritive values of Indian foods.
Oh, so that's why it is mentioned there in the list.
That is the first time. So he asked me for
Oh.
a kilo of this so that he can do the experiments. He did the experiments, and certainly we got the data. Normally, he is not supposed to give the data to me, but by then, with all these kind of interactions, I also have become a little bit practical and intelligent, and said that you have to give me the data. He gave the data, and we compared it. And I used to be there in his office very regularly whenever I was in Hyderabad, almost every other day. Because he wanted to chat, he wanted to talk, and he wanted to see all those other things that I've been thinking of about quinoa, how it's moving and all that. But that interaction resulted in, number one, positively to establish the nutritive values of quinoa. Number two, to make big discussions with him only, very serious discussions. Then eventually both of us decided that we should publish a book, Quinoa, Nutrition and Health Benefits. That's the book we published. With another person, Diwan, Dr. Diwan. He is a pharmacology person. So that's how that book came into existence. And
Okay.
that has created a lot of trouble for him because others in the system did not like the idea of quinoa is being introduced in the country. They started blasting him in the meetings. And I wrote a very strong response to say, to their point is that India has so many millets, our own natural, native, all that stuff. Then why bring a foreign crop? That's when I wrote a letter. That letter is there, that draft, page.
Mhm.
The essence of that letter is this. What we claim as our own local is not our local. Tomato, no. Potato, no. And even green pepper, no. Vast majority of the food items that we consume as our, including rice, is not native to India.
That has come from other countries.
Yes. Majority of the food items that we consume, somehow it happened. I don't know the reason yet. I did not pursue to find out what's the reason. South America is contributed a lot. So with that, of course, there was some silence. They did not bother him further. But that was about the point number 5. And shall we continue? It's already 8:11. Or your time
No
wise,
problem.
5:30.
Let's do it for another 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. I met Ayush because I don't want to cut whatever comes to my mind at that time for that topic. If need be, we can continue.
No problem.
So while these things are happening, I went to Ayush because one of the doctors said that this is not in our textbooks. This is not good for us. Ayurveda will not allow it.
Mhm.
Then I actually went to Ayush, and there is one Deputy Director Sharma was introduced to me by the Joint Secretary of Ministry of Health. The Joint Secretary at that time was a friend of mine, so that's how the Sharma accepted my meeting request or allowed me to give some time. Because Joint Secretary is much above his rank, I guess, or courtesy, I don't know exactly. So I went and met, and he said that, yes, I'm not really a agriculture person or an Ayurveda person, but we have to have the Ayurveda people discuss this point. And he systematically called a few Ayurveda Vaidyas, and we all sat. They asked us so many questions. I explained to him. And then what they said is, yes, it is not allowed in we did not hear anything about that in Ayurveda books. So we cannot say it is good or bad. But if you want to grow in India, if you want to make that a part of the food, what you have to do is find a sloka in one of the texts where such grass-like items are mentioned. In the course of time, we found a particular sloka which says, no leaf or no plant material is not good for, it's a double negative Sanskrit sloka, not good for humans. It could be medicine or it could be food. In the positive side, that sloka says very clearly that every single plant material that is available on earth can be food or medicine for humans. That's how it is considered. Yes, we should go ahead.
Okay.
So that helped me to answer the questions of Ayurvedic doctors wherever I met. But there was no big resistance because most of them did not even care about it. So there's a digression from for that point of 6. It is during the same period of time, Rabbi Chanovich, Rabbi is like our priest in Jewish religion. So he called me one day, and actually he came home in New York and said that I saw all these things. Very few little things are there about me and quinoa on the internet. Yet he figured out that I had gone to India and did all these things. His logic was, if I have gone to India and convinced the Indians or Hindus to eat quinoa, their problem was that according to the religious texts of Jewish people, quinoa should not be eaten, or there is no mention of quinoa. They want to make quinoa part of their religious material. So he came here and he asked me to prepare all the documents so that he can go and present it to the high circle of rabbis. These are the top Jewish religious people, a council, high circle council, so that they will ratify and say that, yes, we can eat quinoa. So with the same logic as what the Ayurveda suggested to me, we prepared a document for Jewish religious priest group. And now in New York or anywhere, they have declared that quinoa can be eaten even in the religious periods. Then the seventh one, already I touched that point, Raj Reddy.
Yeah, you already.
But
and even the letter.
I have written several mails. There's only one point to conclude that. I have written several mails to him, and never they gave that software. Maybe there are two reasons. Now, my final conclusion about that is, it is not that they don't want to give, but maybe it's not working so well. Because vast majority of scientists publish papers. They never want to discuss later after a few years, because somehow they think that lucky we published it, and why unnecessarily dig it again.
Right.
Very few scientists will stand by their papers till their death.
Okay. So let's continue the remaining one.
Now?
No. Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
So it was actually, today daily I'm enjoying, but today I'm more enjoying, because you were talking about your younger days and all that things. I really liked, because somehow I used to feel that scientists are very, very serious kind of people. You have broken my. Now
No,
I
no,
feel that.
Now you feel what?
Now I feel that, yeah, they are really human, because sometimes, we actually start thinking, maybe it is shown in movies or something like that, scientists, they're always into research and only books. So that jugaad factor actually makes you stand out from all the other scientists.
No, that is not, you see, the stereotyping of a scientist is from a very negligible percentage, not even percent. You can't even say the kind of stereotype that is in the society today. The scientists who fit to that are extremely negligible. One in a lakh or one in a crore.
Yeah.
Most of them are normal human beings, normal, good, horrible, bad, worse, genuine, concern, like any other field.
Yeah.
And the
They're
politics
actually
are,
human beings.
yeah, and the politics that they have, I can actually write a full book.
After this, we'll do.
No, about the scientists and what the kind of politics and how, why, and how of science is not helping the society to the extent that it should be.
Yes.
Let's say
Let's write that.
Yeah, you bought a machine paying X amount of money in your house. For example, your AC.
Right.
A simple example, because it's a measurable example. You bought an AC with X amount of money, and if it performs anything less, you will go and try to replace. What if it is performing only 10% what is supposed to be, and 90% is not doing well? What can you do? You will replace. Simple. You will go to the shop and replace. But the money spent on scientists and science, if it is giving only 10% of results, you are not able to do anything with it. Because they say science is like this only. It is not like that.
Understood.
Why we do not get the return of the money that we spend on science, I have written a separate essay, directly putting the bold title, How India is Missing Nobel Prizes. That's totally a different topic. I wrote already, published. It's published by not just here and there, but Pravasi Indian. They have taken the initiative to publish. We had a long discussion, and recently when I was in Delhi. So every year, at least 1,000 people worth getting a Nobel Prize are there in India. But India did not get a Nobel Prize in the last 90 years. Why?
Oh. Understood. Very, very tragic thing.
Neglect.
Yeah, neglect.
If you want to read that, I can send that article to you. I wrote it plain, simple English on my own.
Oh. I'll go through when send it to me. Okay, then see you on Monday.
Yes. So what will you send for me as things to do by Monday?
Okay. First, this thing, our Zoom, you send me the YouTube recording. So I'll convert that into the transcript. And Monday we'll be finishing off the remaining. I think 1-2 points are left from today's this thing.
Yeah.
Akira
Please
Endo.
attach the transcript also to the emails as is raw transcript for my files.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you convert any of these into transcripts before the previous ones?
Yeah. Yeah, I have done for that chapter 4. I did, na. I have done that.
Okay.
So I've
Very good.
understood how to do that. Okay.
Thanks.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.